Hello writers, it's Russell here from Writer Coach, and I've been thinking about the age-old question of why do we write? This is a question I ask myself, and sometimes I don't have the answer for myself, and it's a question that people like Coach always ask. Why write? We're called to write, but when the going gets tough, it's very easy to stop writing. And then you question, well, why do I do this thing? Because it's so absurd. I'm not going to get anywhere with it. Maybe it never gets published. Maybe I don't make any money. And it brings up all sorts of survival issues. And we usually say, I don't have enough time. Or I don't have enough money. And I know these excuses because they're excuses that I use. But then I have to get real with myself and take a real look at what happens when I give in to that excuse. When I believe that there's not enough money or not enough time or it's not worth it, what I'm really saying is that there's not enough time in this world for me, and that life is about survival, making money, which is survival, or pleasing my family, which is like pleasing the tribe, which is related to survival. So what I'm saying is that I'm letting survival become the number one priority in my life, and whatever you allow to become the priority in your life will become the priority. So what we do is we slip into this thing of everything else is more important. And that calling that comes from within, that comes from the heart and from the soul to write goes unheeded. And I almost can say to people, well, don't write, you shouldn't write, because writing is any type of art is one of the most crazy things you can do. It has absolutely no use unless you're one of the lucky few who gets published and makes a lot of money. For the rest, it makes no sense. But that's exactly why we put it do it, because it makes no sense. It comes from the heart. It comes from that part of you that knows nothing about survival, because it is already complete, is really full, is really inspired. It doesn't need to survive because it knows it's okay. It's that soul, it's your inner angel calling to you and saying, take your mind off this thing about survival and your job and your family and friends and all those duties, and put some attention back onto you, and look into your heart and follow the calling back to where it begins. And that's the part of you that is already divinely whole, complete, is flowing over with inspiration, with love, and wants to share something with the world, wants to create a world for others, wants to move others with the words. This is your soul-seeking expression. But it makes no sense. So therefore, most people will not do it. And we make up endless excuses. And in the end, we lie on our deathbed and we never wrote that book or those poems, because we were trying to survive. And our soul was all the time trying to say, I'm just asking for 1 hour a day, for you to be most truly you, for you to become quiet, to shut the door, to stop the noise, and to turn towards the truth, and to follow your calling. Follow that pure desire, which comes not from need but from a fullness to express more of who you are. In your case, it's words, or for some painting and pictures, a combination of them. That writing is more than the book. It's about you expressing something from within. And art and the spirit, by definition, almost have no sense. They're not meant to make sense. They're not meant to add up to a profitable career. For some it might, for many, no. Let go of that and follow the calling and do it. And all you need is an hour. If you haven't got an hour, 45 minutes. I know that you can find 45 minutes in a day to be you. And your highest self wants you to close the door on the needs of others so that you can look at the need of yourself to express yourself. Otherwise you will die without expressing. and that will be one wasted life. Sorry to put it bluntly, but that's how it is. You are lucky enough to be called to write something or to create an art. And when you do that, it brings up all sorts of doubts. But that is the spiritual path. So you close the door, you sit in your office or your writing space or wherever, and you face the blank page. It's the same thing as the monk who goes to a cell to meditate and faces the emptiness of the mind. As scary. So regard this as your spiritual practice. And on those days where you don't feel like writing, on those days you meditate or you sit quietly and you just face the empty mind. In that is your most valuable time of the whole day. Forget about the rest of the time when you're making money or doing business, looking after people and children. Forget it. It's all about other people. Your art is calling to you to pay it some attention so that you can be you for that short while, and that you can face the emptiness and the fullness of your being. And yes, that is a difficult and courageous path, but that's why you're here. You're an artist, you're a writer, you're called to it. You can give up now, but you will always wonder what would happen if you'd spend 45 minutes a day closing the door and following your heart. And yes, it makes no sense. It will never make sense. Not meant to. Give up making sense. Follow the heart. It's the most real thing you do. At the end of your days and your deathbed, you'll look back and that hour a day will be counted as one of the most valuable hours. And all the rest fades away, but that hour is what was special. Because you took a chance and you went against the flow of the current of everybody else. The sheep are all going in one direction. There, survive, make money, do what makes sense, do what adds up. And here are some lone few, the artists, the mystics, doing something different. They're going the opposite way. And people say, you're mad, go this way, this way. This is how you get ahead. You got to survive. You've got to, and you are closing the door, getting in your little bubble, and you're drifting off into a magical land. Because what you want to do, you want to bring back some magic to the tribe. And maybe the tribe doesn't even know they need this particular magic until you bring it to them. But you have to spend a lot of time on your own, on a journey, a hero's journey, to find that magic and bring it back. And maybe only one or two people see it, but that's enough. You are on the journey. It makes no sense. So feel within if these words ring true for you. If not, fine, put the message away. If it rings true, then can you return to your writing space from now? And just 45 minutes a day, move your hand across the page and allow something to emerge. And don't worry about the quality of it. Just be there. And you're spending time with yourself. And you're allowing the inner you to come forth. And you might need to be patient and courageous. It might take a while of just writing nonsense before something emerges. And then you say, now I've got the story. The wait was worth it. Have the courage to go against the flow. Have the courage to close the door. Have the courage to be in the quiet room. Have the courage to not answer the phone, to not answer the people's calls. Turn against the current. Follow your own path. Cross over the river. The hero crosses over a river or a boundary and enters a strange land. Do that now. You're called to it. Otherwise, what is life for? So you get to the end of your life and you say, well, I survived. I made some money. If that is your calling, then that is good. If you're doing it just because everybody else is doing it, then you missed your calling. So tune into the calling, the desire, and let the desire pull you where it wants to go, and surrender to that. And all you've got to do is create the vessel, create the space, which means close the door, find the quiet space, be unavailable for 45 minutes a day, and something will happen. Good. So try that and see what happens, and have fun with it.